Wow, wow. Are you guys loaded up? I am so stoked just hearing Dave every single time. And we're headed towards a lunch break pretty soon. We're gonna give you just a small preview of what is in store for us this afternoon. If you're our guest this morning and something you heard has touched you, which I can't see how it wouldn't, but we would like to invite you to consider staying on with us, and I'll give you some details with that right before we break for the lunch. But I want to introduce a very special guest, and we're going to get just a very small taste, a little preview of what's coming for this afternoon, just a few minutes to see what this afternoon is about. I have the privilege of introducing this amazing man. He's been in network marketing for over 25 years. He's a sought-after coach, trainer, mentor. I mean, he's just amazing, and he's with us all the way from Arizona. He was with us at our very first regional conference a year ago in October. It's my privilege to invite to the stage Todd Falcone.
Hello. Wow, there it is. Aloha. Aloha. Do I have any green stuff on my lip? Geraldine was like, you better wipe your lip off before you get up there. I was drinking a shake. What a great start to the Saturday, huh? So check this out. I'm only going to talk just for a couple of minutes right now. What I want, first of all, you're in the right place at the right time, obviously. How many of you feel that? How many of you here are here for the very first time today? Raise your hand, okay? I think it would be really awesome if you have the time to stay here for this afternoon session and really learn how to do this business. 25 years ago, I was very fortunate to have been introduced to the profession of network marketing. I was 6. That's still working, at least for a little while. And you know, the cool thing is I haven't had to have a job for 22 years. So, yeah, that's definitely clappable. So, not for me, but the possibilities that exist for you by getting involved in a profession that contains the mechanics of wealth. Do you realize how good this is? Do you really realize how good this is? You have the opportunity to, through this business, change the direction of people's lives forever. It's not just about making money. Now, making money is good, and I'll talk about that this afternoon. In fact, I'm going to teach you how to accelerate, how to speed up, how to increase the velocity of making money in this business. But what do you get to do from a health standpoint? I mean, we look around how unhealthy people are everywhere. And you get to bring the gift of better health to someone, of living a longer, healthier life, and in the meantime, help them create financial abundance and be able to do the things in their life that maybe they didn't even know they could do. They're like, oh man, all my dreams are gone. I gotta work this job. I'm so stressed out. You have a better way. We have a better way. So what I'm gonna do this afternoon is I'm gonna go into 10 very specific points, very specific principles that absolutely will accelerate your speed to success. Because here's the thing, you're either going slow or you're going fast. And I know where I am, I know I'm in the Hawaiian Islands, but you guys don't want to go slow, do you? I mean, I know it's aloha style and we start and we're chill and yeah, brother. But let's get it done. Who wants to get it done? All right, cool. So, for you guests that are here for the first time, I would just call whoever you're gonna call and say, yeah, I can't go surfing with you because it's still flat anyhow. It's not gonna pick up until tomorrow on the South Shore. So whatever you're gonna do, make a phone call, send a text message if you can, and say, look, I get a chance to learn about how to create change in my life, and I really wanna take advantage of that opportunity, and I would invite you to stay. I'm going to be speaking, I think, right after lunch, and we just have a lot of really fantastic things. And I get an opportunity to speak for lots of really cool companies, but you guys are on the move, and I'm going to show you how to really make things move. So I'll look forward to seeing you after lunch, and thank you so much. I'll pass it over to lovely Tracy. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the afternoon session. And to kick off this new segment of the day, we just want to say a very, very special thank you, a huge appreciation to Brandy and Holly for bringing Purium to Hawaii. We just want to give them a huge, huge, warm appreciation, applause. Your crowns appreciate you. All of Team We appreciates you guys. You guys can stay right there. We just want to show you our appreciation and say thank you. So we didn't want this event to pass without recognizing our brand new and our company's only Royal Crown. Thank you, Holly too. And so now, to get us some knowledge, some information, some things to get us building our empires quickly, we're going to reintroduce a very, very awesome man who is with us from Arizona. He's an international speaker, a coach, a trainer. He is a writer. He's so many things, and he's been in this industry for over 25 years. We love to take advantage of his experience. Mr. Todd Falcone.
I do that? Wait. Okay. How you guys doing? Who ate turkey at lunch? Okay, the person next to the turkey eater, make sure you're elbowing them. Tryptophan. So, who wants to go really slow in their business? No? You guys want to go fast? Okay. So here's the thing. In the last couple of decades, 2.5 decades of being in the field of network marketing, you kind of learned some things, hopefully, right? I mean, if you're around that long, you probably pick up on some things that work and some things that don't work. And real simple philosophy is you want to repeat the things that do work and you want to delete the things that don't work. Make sense? Repeat what works, delete what doesn't. Now, I would actually even challenge you to put it in your journal, like have a repeat and delete section. Like you try something, you're like, that didn't work out so well for me. I'll give you an example. Can I just be as real with you as possible today? So like 24 years ago, I'm desperate, broke, no money, eating top ramen every day. Top ramen is not good. You know how much sodium is in top ramen? My fingers were like gigantic. I was walking around with gigantic fingers because I couldn't afford anything but top ramen. And I'm desperate because I just started my network marketing business and I'm chasing all my friends away because I'm talking too much. And I finally get this lady to say yes. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Finally signed up my second distributor. My first distributor was my friend who never did anything. And then she signs up, she's gonna come to a Saturday training, and she didn't show up. And I was so mad that I called her on her answering machine, and I don't know what I said, but it wasn't very good. Wasn't that, I used some words. Coming from a total position of like, ugh. Guess who called me? The CEO of the company. The lady never called me. She said, hey, is this how you guys do business? Because this is what this guy said on my answering machine. And you don't want the CEO of that company calling you up. Now, I put that in the delete category, right? So repeat what works, delete what doesn't. That's That's a philosophy you want to live by. And over the years of doing network marketing, I've learned a lot of things that do work. And I'm going to give you some very powerful strategies today that I believe are acceleration strategies. So if you really want to increase the velocity, the pace, how quickly you get there, by a show of hands, how many of you want to get there faster rather than slower? Is there anybody next to you that didn't raise their hand? Because is there anybody that wants to go slow? Probably not. So these are, I'm telling you right now, these are winning, quick, fast acceleration strategy. You guys ready? And we can actually slip 2 slides ahead because the first one, there we go. All right. This should go without saying. So 6-figure express method number 1 is, here's the deal with this. And this should go without saying, and that is, I want you to imagine your business for a second is a car, okay? And it is, it's a vehicle, right? The business that you're in is a vehicle. And you're in your vehicle, and you are speeding down the highway, and your foot is on the gas as hard as you can be. You're speeding down the road, but the whole time you're like, just wind blazing in your hair, 120 miles an hour, you're going like this. And you're never on the road. What's gonna happen? You're gonna crash, right? You're gonna smash into a car in front of you, a tree, a cactus, a surfer riding his bike on the side of the road. Something. Isn't that correct? Something weird is gonna happen. But here, and I say that, I say, oh gosh, it should go without saying, but I speak all over the world to network marketers, and there are a lot of people that are doing other things. And this is, there's no, I'm not clairvoyant, so I can't figure out who in the room might be doing something else or hedging their bets. But when you have your foot on 2 horses, like the left horse is on the back of one horse, and your left foot, the right foot's on the other horse, and those 2 horses take off, what do you think is going to happen? You think the horses are always going to go in the same direction? Again, if your objective is acceleration, okay? If you want to speed your way to success and for lack of ensure yourself success. Here's the thing, I don't think anybody should ever run a nonprofit network marketing business. Why would you want to run, do you know anybody who's ever run a nonprofit network marketing business? I do. Like they get in and they like hang out and they dilly-dally. And what's the word for it? I've been blanking in network marketing for a long time. What's the word? I've been dabbling. What happens when you dibble-dabble? Do you keep your relationships? Do you make money? It's a hobby, right? People don't make money in hobbies. The thing, I'm telling you right now, my opinion is you guys are all in, the company right now that you're in is good enough. The opportunity that you're in right this very moment is good enough. You want to be leading by example, don't you? What happens if I'm in a company and then my team member finds out that I've got 3 other things going on? What did I just communicate to him? It's not good enough, right? And I say this not because I know there's a whole bunch of people doing that, but there's always people in every room that are doing more than one thing. And even in my life, and by the way, this is coming from personal experience. This isn't just, oh yeah, try it. I've done multiple things, and when I'm doing multiple things, everything suffers. Everything suffers. Well, I like this and I like that. Well, I know I like this and I like that, but you gotta focus. You gotta focus. So put your blinders on. Literally, the cool thing about having your blinders on is you don't see anything else except the road in front of you. You don't see anything. The flashy little object over here, the exit, the amusement park over here on the exit that you want to stop at and hang out for a little while, you can't even see that because you're so focused on the road ahead of you. And so ultimately, you have to get to the desired destination, and you're not going to crash because you're so laser focused on where you're going. Does that make sense to you guys? Make sense? Okay, cool. Slide number 2, please. All right. Here's the other thing. I would ask you to do this if you're taking notes, which you should be, is take a piece of paper, draw it right down the center of the paper. Just put a line right down through the center of the whole piece of paper. In the upper left-hand corner, I want you to write the word speeds up. In the upper right-hand corner, put slows down. Now again, this hour that I have to spend with you is serious discussion. Is that okay? I mean, I might throw in some comedy in here, but I'm here to serve you in your desire to create success, because you wouldn't be here on a Saturday and packed into a room if you weren't really wanting to figure this game out, would you? Right? So in terms of speeding up or slowing down, what I would suggest that you do over the next couple of weeks in your journal, because I travel around with my journal. It goes pretty much everywhere I go. Journals are pretty cool, aren't they? Because you can take notes and then they don't fray, the pages don't fall out. Who has a journal in the room? Hold your journal up if you got a journal in the room. Awesome. If you don't have one, they're cheap. I don't sell them, but you can go buy one someplace. And they're awesome. And it's a great place to learn and go refer back to that. And take that sheet of paper and during the next couple of weeks, stop yourself occasionally during the day and just go, is what I'm doing right now making me money, yes or no? Like, stop yourself. So if you stop yourself and you're 37 minutes into a Facebook session, vicariously living your life through the lives of other people by checking out the news feeds, you guys don't do that? You never done that? 45 minutes later, I mean that blue rabbit hole that sucks you down into Facebook? Yeah. Does that make you money? What makes you money? Action. What's the action, the activity that makes you money? If you're engaged in conversation, if you're showing somebody the business. In fact, there's another thing. I know I did this last October. By the way, who did not see me last October? Raise your hands real high. Who's new in the room? Wow, awesome. Cool. So this will be fresh for you then. Here's one of the best accountability exercises, because this business is all about, okay, if I'm going to do it, nobody's going to do it for you but you. We've got to be willing to face our own stuff and go. We can sit there and say, "Gosh, I wish things would be easier. I wish but maybe if it's not better, then we got to wish to be a better person, right?" I think Jim Rohn said that. Don't wish for things to be easier. Wish for the skills. Wish to be better, wish to have a better mindset. So here's my suggestion for you. The next 30 days, now again, who would love to make at least $10,000 a month in this business? Okay? 10 grand a month, then you could probably get by on that. Most people? Brandy probably couldn't. It's true. Every day before you go to bed, can you make a promise to me? I promise it'll only take you like 5 seconds. Can you do it? Can you do it? Yes. Draw a box right before you go to bed. In that box, I want you to write the number of new people that you talked to that day about the business. How many new people did you touch and share something with the intention of talking about these products or this business opportunity? Now here's the thing. If every day you're staring at a zero, it's not good enough, is it? It's just not good enough, a zero. And then we're like, wow, how come I'm not making any money in this business? Gosh, I really wish I was making more money, but I don't even understand why I'm making any more money. Oh, there's the reason. So how do we change that? How do we shift that? There's a phrase, awareness is the first step towards creating change in your life. You can't really change something until you're aware of the problem. So I want to help you guys today, right? I want to serve you and help you to accelerate the path, the pace at which you get to a successful level. I think it's ridiculous that people get involved in this business and don't crush it. I mean, what are we gonna do in this business? I mean, there's a lot worse things that we could do for a living. We get to help people make money and get healthy. Is that something to be ashamed of? So when somebody goes like when somebody asks me like, hey, is this network marketing? My answer is absolutely it is. If it wasn't, I wouldn't touch it. Versus, if anybody ever ask you, is this network marketing? Or is this an MLN? What's an MLN? You mean MLM? If we're going to do MLN, OPQRST, at least get the letters right if you're going to try to make fun of me. Right? Is this one of those? What? Oh, it's a pyramid? Yep, better get in before we go out of business. I'm kidding. Do you realize that when somebody comes to you and they say that, they don't even have any idea what it is? If somebody says, is this one of those things, they don't understand the difference between a legitimate, real network distribution company like this is and something that's not. You follow me? So we have to be coming from a mind space, a belief space about what we're doing, and also come from a position of being accountable. And remember that little box I just had you draw? I got a little phrase that goes along with it. You can, underneath that box or next to that box, you can write it. Double digits a day, keep the commission checks on their way. All that means, you mean, Todd, I have to talk to 10 people in a day? 10? I don't know. I mean, let me paint this picture to you. Would you talk to 10 people every day if you knew you could make 500 grand a year? Would you? That's kind of the game that we're playing here. And I'm not making any promises that you're going to get to 500 grand a year. You might get to just $1 million. Or 250, or whatever it is. But all we should feel blessed that we get to go talk to somebody, not feel scared, right? You tell me if you can relate to this. Oh, I don't know if I want to pick up the phone because what are they going to say to me? What are they going to think? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm right? What if they ask me the hard questions? I haven't made any money in this before. Why would they ever listen to me? I don't even know what I'm doing. The last thing I did, I worked at Jack in the Box. By the way, that was my first job. I've upgraded. Just a little bit. If I can go from Jack in the Box and McDonald's to standing in front of you right now, why can't you? Why can't you? Being successful in this business requires you getting to work, becoming accountable, coming to grips with the reality. Because people all day, again, we can talk about, oh gosh, I wish it was better. Well, how much work have you actually done? And if you're not doing the work, then why? That's a worthy thing of journaling. Why am I sitting on my butt doing nothing? Absolutely zero at all. Because I'm scared. Why am I scared? I don't know. Well, if I did know, why would I know that I'm not scared? Or I don't even know what I'm saying now in my journal. It's all private thoughts anyhow. Right? So understand that if your objective is to speed up the process, you have to be clear with what makes you money. What makes you money in this business is exposure. So stopping yourself in the middle of the day, knowing what I'm doing right now making me money? Yes, then do more of it. If it's not making me money, then stop. If you're sitting there going like this, now almost every dude in America has the biggest thumb bicep muscle in the world. I mean, this muscle right here is so strong, I could lift like a house with it. Why? Because I've done this. And I mean, look at, do you see that, ladies? It's impressive. Doesn't make you any money, though. Oh, carpal tunnel. Oh. Right, next slide, please. All right, number 3 is, the whole theme of what I'm talking about here is acceleration. That's the theme of these 10 points, is how do we accelerate, how do we speed up the process? You want to put your business glasses on. What I mean is this, you don't want to be running around with blurred business vision, okay? You have to be responsible enough in this business to know what it takes for you to get from point A to point B to point C to point D in your compensation structure. You could sit here and go, I don't understand the compensation plan. I mean, that might work for, what, today? But does it work for next month? Now, I want you to also understand something, because I'm not a math guy. I'm not really good with numbers. I just know that there's good numbers in my bank account, and I'm pretty happy with it. But I'm not good with, like, I'm not a compensation plan analyst, okay? I can't even say it right, so there you go, analyst and analyst. But you do have to know, for example, how much volume does it take to get to diamond? 15,000, right? How do I know that? Because I know, and I'm not even in the deal. How can I know and not even be in the deal? How is that possible? Because I've embraced or immersed myself enough with you guys to know, hey, it takes $15,000 in volume to get there. Is there a benefit for being a diamond? How many of you want to be diamonds and aren't diamonds yet? Okay? Knowing the path is important going, because here's the thing, if you miss diamond by $100, would that be good? No. What if someone in your downline missed diamond by $100 and you could have like gone, oh, well, you were at 14,900, I knew it, but I didn't call you. Right? Wouldn't that be like uncomfortable? So when I say business glasses on, being smart enough and being crystal clear with how to get from, again, if we want to accelerate the process or the path of getting from here to wherever there is, more money, right? Let's just say 6 figures. Let's get you to 6 figures first. Is that fair? What's 6 figures? About 10 grand a month? Okay, so let's just stay on that number. So we want to accelerate the process of getting to 6 figures. We want to be clear with what the process is on how to get there. The other part is, confused people do what? Nothing. Confused people do this, donuts. And you guys know that donuts aren't good for even organic ones. Non-GMO donuts, I don't even know if that exists. Just stay away from the donuts. I'm sure David's cheering me on right now. Yeah. How about that morning? That guy's full of knowledge, huh? Oh. Wow. And somebody who truly cares about health. I've spoken for lots of companies, lots. And, you know, everybody does it for different reasons. But I can tell that there's heart in this company. Not about let's just go make as much money as we can. I mean, nothing wrong with making a bunch of money. If you're solving a huge problem, don't we all deserve to make a lot of money? Solving a huge problem, but you're also in a company that I can tell that cares. You have to care enough as an independent distributor to be present of mind enough to know, okay, I know what the process is. I know what call or what webinar or where I'm going to take them, and I don't know exactly what your process is for showing somebody the information, but you should. Do you know how to sign somebody up in the program, and what are the different levels? I know you got the gift cards. Are you crystal clear on that? Because if you're not crystal clear on that, and your new distributor isn't crystal clear on that, then what are they going to do? Nothing. Because confused distributors just sit there and go, man, I'm confused. I don't even know what to do here. Like somebody came to me one day and they said, Todd, we need you to meet us on this corner lot, and I just got to come there. And I'm like, okay, so I meet them on the corner lot and I'm hanging out. And it's like all this stuff. There's like bags of cement, there's hammers and nails and screws and stuff and like things I don't even recognize what they are. And they're like, hey, here you go, build the house. Even if I was motivated and want to build the house, do you think I could build the house? I couldn't build the house because I don't possess the skills. Okay, the hammer, I might be going like this later in the day because that's how I'm so frustrated. But if somebody showed me the way and said, look, let me show you how to lay a foundation. Let me show you how to frame a house. Do you think I can learn how to do it? Do you think you could learn how to do it and teach others? Because this business is a lot about teaching too. In fact, it's as much about teaching and assisting and helping others as it is about personal recruiting. Next slide, please. This is huge. Right here, what I'm sharing with you right now will make you a ton. Did we skip one? Oh, let's go back one. You're fast. It's nice. I know it's about acceleration, but not that fast. Okay, the next 2 points are actually on the subject of teamwork. Now, so I'm going to go not super advanced on you, but it's something it's good to know early in your business career, rather than not know. We've heard the phrase, teamwork makes the dream work, right? Cliches exist for a reason. Heard it out, teamwork makes the dream work. Well, what does that mean in the context of this point? You are building a team, an organization, a group of people. My suggestion would be to do everything that you can to create a cohesive entity of people that work together. How many of you have friends in the business? Yep, anybody have somebody that they like in the business? That should be everybody, right? We should all like somebody. Cool thing is we don't have to bring in the people we don't like. We can just leave them out there. Bring in the fun, cool people, right? So my point is, spend at least maybe one day a week or one small amount of time a week getting some of your core people together and working together as a team and really creating some cohesiveness, whether it be getting together, making a few calls and setting some appointments together. If it's physically possible, if it's physically possible for you to actually get together as a group, I'd have you over at my house on a Saturday and we'll have a little dialing blitz party and we'll call a bunch of people and we'll celebrate, high five and have a good time and hug and cheer and talk about the really bad prospect that we got. Now, if you get a bad prospect, really, have you ever had a negative nanny? No, you guys have never had a negative prospect before? Yeah. When are you in? You doing what? Is it you? That's one of those things where you gotta get people to work for you? You want me to give you money? If it's so good, why don't you pay my way in? No, I don't have any money. Yeah. If you had that person on the phone, would that make you feel good? No. But if you're around somebody else and you're around your buddy, you just laugh at that guy, wouldn't you? Because here's the thing, a lot of times we're by ourselves in this business, aren't we? We're building a team, we're building a group, we're building an organization, we're all together today, but a lot of times, I don't know, do you have 15 people in your office while you're making phone calls every day? Or are you at home by yourself making calls, setting appointments, setting up meetings? That's what we do, right? So just as an added idea to accelerate the velocity and the growth of your organization, anytime you can get a group together, maybe it's on a conference bridge, because you're all over the place, maybe it's together at somebody's house, maybe this week it's at somebody's house, maybe next week, and I'm not saying that you do business building activity like this every single day, but it helps to facilitate better relationships, build confidence. How many of you think confidence is important in this business? You ever had a person in the business like, I don't have any confidence? How do you survive in this business without confidence? Everything rises and falls on confidence. Everything rises and falls on confidence. But if we do it together, if I held your hand and we made calls together, we did meetings together, do you think your confidence would increase? Of course it would. Do you think the bad person would be like, oh, less bad? Do you think the good person that we got on the phone would be we'd be more excited, we'd be celebrating it together? Just be thinking about this. Am I working with my team to help facilitate growth within the organization? Because I can tell you this, what happens a lot of times, people will get in this business and they'll just put somebody in and it's like, we're shuttling them off. Like, hope it works for you. Go make me some money. We're not actually saying that because we're not that rude, right? We would never say that, but think about this. Now here's the thing, I've done network marketing enough to know that this is the truth, okay? This isn't like textbook network marketing, this is like in the field, street network marketing. You sign somebody up and you're like, oh, I need a glass of water. Speaking of, I'm gonna hydrate for a second. I have to rest. I finally sponsored my first person. It took me a week, but, oh. Might have to go to the movies. Take a week off. I think I'm gonna go to Hawaii. Maybe I might not come home. And then you finally get home because you stayed there for a month. And you call up the distributor that you sponsored a month ago that you forgot to even help them, and their line is disconnected. Or they red buttoned you. You know what a red button is? Look at your phone. How many buttons you got? You got a red one and a green one. Green ones are for the cool people. You're like, hey, David, hi. I was gonna use a word, but I won't. Rich, nah. Or whoever it was. If your name's Rich, don't take offense to that. No, red button, green button. You wanna attach yourself to people and help them create success. And instead of like, and also I want you to understand this, there are people that work with, how many of you have been in the business for less than a month? Less than a month? Less than 1 month? Okay, good for you guys, congratulations. First of all, we have a handful of people that are fairly new. Yeah, give them a hand for sure. So, do we expect a person who's been in for less than a month to know everything? It's taken me a lifetime to learn all the stuff that I know today, right? But if they don't know something, can they go to someone and say, look, can you help me with this? Or I got this new team member that I just signed up, I just sponsored. I don't feel like I have the ability to teach them everything there is to know about doing this business. You can reach out to those people and have someone help, okay? And then I would pay attention. One of the greatest things that you can do, and I say this all the time, is soak and apply. Soak in the information, but apply it. If I give you one thing today, and you go, wow, that's a really cool idea, I'm gonna actually do it. If you actually apply it, that's the good thing. If you soak it and you let it fall off of you and you don't do anything with it, that's the bad thing. You wanna soak in information, you wanna apply it in your business. Next slide, please. Okay. Eyes like a hawk. How many of you know what a genealogy is? Downline report. Know what that is? You guys have those here? Can I actually, if I have an organization, can I look it up on a computer? Okay. This is a business volume acceleration method. And that is, every single person on your team, you have a vested interest in helping them, don't you? Now here's the thing, at first it's you, and then it's you and your buddy. It was me and my friend Tom Bennett. And Tom barely did anything. And then it was me and Tom and Rob the Whiner. Now here's what happened with Rob the Whiner. So if my only warm market friend 25 years ago that came in was Tom Bennett, I found him on Facebook the other day, and I still owe him money from like 1989. I'm gonna finally pay up on that debt. It took me years because I looked him up, Tom Bennett. It's actually Tommy Bennett on Facebook, believe it or not. That's another story, I digress. Rob, I bring Rob in. Rob's this little leaf here. Kicked him off the stage later. Rob, when I brought Rob in, all he did was he complained. The box is broken. The logo is crooked on the packaging. The ink on the receipt was kind of faded. And some green stuff stayed on my lip after I drank the shake. And I went out and somebody said, "Why is your lip green?" And it made me feel uncomfortable. Complain. Now here's the thing. This is 101 advanced building. Work where you're deserved, not where you're needed. If you have somebody in your business that comes and they're just like, "Oh, it's so bad." First of all, they sound lame anyhow. Why would you want to work with somebody like that? But then I have Tom. Tom's showing up. Tom's bringing people to meetings. Tom's doing briefings. Tom's showing up. I attach myself to Tom. How long? As long as it takes. Forever. Long as Tom, if I have Tom going, I'm going to work with Tom all day, every day, as long as it takes. That doesn't mean he's the only person I'm going to work with. But Rob, dude, come on. As soon as you're done crying and you want to do something, I'm here to help you. I'd be happy to work with you. But I'm going to work with Tom because Tom deserves my time and attention. That's such a huge mistake that I made it a ton of times. I had to learn, and those are the two names, Tom and Rob, is when I learned that lesson. I don't remember Rob's last name because he was a whiner. He eventually faded away, but I made the mistake of spending time trying to get Rob CPR, and he never did anything. You can't make somebody do this business. It's a volunteer sport. You follow me? Because you're going to bring some people in, and I feel really bad. I brought my friend in, and they gave the company money. They didn't do anything. How many of you ever felt bad because they didn't do anything? Be honest. You know, you bring your friend in, and then they didn't do anything. And now you're feeling all bad because they didn't do anything. Is that your fault? No, it's not your fault. You gotta let go of the guilt. You bring somebody in, you go, "Man, you ready to go? I'm gonna work with you." How do you know that they're ready to go? They show up. It's amazing. They show up. The ones that are like, if you told me you're going to be there at Saturday training and then you pulled a no-show, and then I called you and you didn't follow up with me or you didn't get back to me, that's a pretty clear sign that you're not interested, isn't it? And you want to be looking, this point on the slide here is you want to be looking for pockets of activity. The first time I did this, I'm going to tell the story. I met this guy, his name is Joe. I was looking at my genealogy report. By the way, when you're looking at your genealogy report, at least once a month, kind of go through it. At first it's easy because it's you and a couple people. Then it's you and a few more. And then all of a sudden it's a few pages of stuff. And you're like, I don't even know who these people are. That's a good problem to have, isn't it? When you got a whole bunch of people in there, they're like, I got pages and pages of people. I don't even know 99% of the people in my business. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's a good problem to have. But even at that point, what you want to be doing is I want to be looking eyes like a hawk. Who's doing? Who's involved? Who's active? Who's participating? Who's sponsoring? Who's growing? Because you're going to see somebody and you go like, who's this guy Joe? And in my case, it was this guy Joe in Orange County. I called him up, and he was on my 6th level and a 7-level pay plan. Different compensation plan. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter. And I'm sitting there. I called Joe up, and I go, Joe, Todd Falcone. I go, how's it going? I said, listen, I'm way up line from you in the business. I've noticed that you brought in like 35 people in and you've only been in for a month or two. I'd love to, if there's anything I can do to serve you, to work with you, to help you, I want to plug into you. Here's my number, here's my email address. And I could have looked at Joe and just gone, yeah, he's already going. Go ahead, yeah, keep going, Joe. Go, Joe, go. Not even know who the guy is. Now here's the problem with that. What happens when Joe has a crappy day? You think a guy who sponsored 35 people can't have a crappy day? Something weird happens. He hears something. He hears a rumor. He thinks the rumor's true. He calls and tells all of his downline and everybody cancels the next day. You don't think that can happen? So for me, it was Terry. Wouldn't it be great for you to learn through my experiences rather than you screw up? I can help you not make the mistakes that I did. Is that okay? So I had a guy I sponsored. His name is Atticus. Atticus brought in this guy, Terry. I knew Terry a little bit. And this is, so I'm going a little bit deeper into this lesson because I think it's that important. Terry had never done network marketing before, but he was cranking. 67, 80, 85, 90,000 in volume, and volume's increasing every month. And I knew Terry, had a little bit of relationship with him. He owned a couple Mexican restaurants. That was his primary. Never touched a network marketing company in his life. Most of his organization, his whole family was deaf, so he had a huge deaf organization. It was awesome. He was bringing, and everybody was growing, and things were going great. And then I watched, and because I'm looking at the genealogy, okay, watch your group. It's like a garden, right? You got to pull the weeds out. You can't just ignore what's going on in the group, and especially your people that you have that are cranking. You know, you get somebody like, if I had Brandy in my downline, you think I'm going to ignore Brandy? I mean, she's pretty independent, wouldn't you agree? She doesn't need, I mean, she's going to do it whether I do anything or not, but I'm certainly not going to be so silly as to ignore her. I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on in the organization because I don't know what happened. Something might happen all of a sudden. Well, what happened? Something went sideways. You never know. No matter how independent somebody is, this is your downline. This is your team. This is your company. You have to be pulling weeds out of the garden. I look at Terry, and Terry's volume one month went from like 94,000 down to 92, and I thought, every month growth, 94 down to 92, and I'm like, well, I mean, we're not going to grow every month. So I watched it. Next month it went down to like 89. I'm like, that's weird. And his auto ship went from 200 to 100. Now, in this particular compensation plan, you would never do that, and so I immediately knew something was wrong. I called him up, and I could ignore it and go, oh, this is cool, this is business. No, this is your company. This is how you grow your business. You don't just sponsor people and think that it's just going to happen. There's you getting involved and doing some team building and working with these people and helping facilitate the activity and developing relationships. I called Terry, and he would always return my phone call, but he didn't return my phone call. And then I called him about 4 days later. He didn't return my phone call. I called him again about 4 days later. Didn't return my phone call. I did not stop. Finally, about the fifth call, I said, dude. That's exactly what I said, by the way. Terry, Todd Falcone, listen, I know something's wrong. I noticed your auto ship went from this to this. I've noticed the volume is trended downward the last 2-3 months. You haven't returned my phone call. You're always good about returning my phone calls. Dude, I know something's up. Whatever's up, let's chat. I'm cool. You're cool. Let's find out what the deal is and see if we can't solve the problem, rather than beat around the bush, right? He called me like that. And he said, you know, Todd, yeah, something was wrong. I heard this whole rumor about, we're going to be owned by this other company, that lawsuit, blah-de-da-da-da. And I told my whole downline, and I was like, oh. So this is 15 years ago. Some deal was going on, some lawsuit, some rumor that we were going to be owned by this company, which is all baloney. And he told his downline, I don't know if we're going to make it. Poison his organization and never recovered. That company went on to be over a $500 million a year company. Terry wasn't part of it. So you want to be looking for pockets of activity, and I would suggest this from a management standpoint. Can I give you another really good tip? Like a good worker tip? Well, I'll give that to you privately later. The rest of you guys, we'll go to the next one. We'll skip that one. Do you guys want that one? Because it's good. Like tryptophan. That's bad. If David knew you ate turkey, you'd be in trouble. Just kidding. It was organic, non-GMO. Get the biggest whiteboard you can throw up on your wall. Biggest, baddest whiteboard you can throw up on your wall in your office. This is all, I'm telling you right now, this is a worker bee tip right here. Biggest, giganticest. I'm educated, huge. Bigger than this. As big as you can. Is my point clear? The whole wall if you can. Like in my office, it's literally almost the whole wall. It's awesome. And then what I do is I put key people up there. My personally sponsored people, the ones that are active. If we're looking at a binary compensation plan or whatever, if you have different legs, you can just put, okay, here's this leg and here's this leg. And any of the people that are in each of those legs that are active, like I found this guy Joe on my 6th level. Joe, I would have to look hard to find him again on my genealogy report because he's way, way, way down there. But because he's on my whiteboard, he's top of mind. Top of mind. This is the best, I'm telling you right now, because you're going to just look at that whiteboard and go, I haven't talked to Cindy for a week. Got to call her. Because if she's in the genealogy, she might get lost. I mean, if you had Brandy's genealogy, you might get lost in there. Or Holly's, or Tracy's, or David's, doesn't matter. You're going to get lost. So this is a, okay, but who goes up on the whiteboard? Complainers? Broke, grumpy people? Non-producers? Doers. Doers get on the whiteboard. Do this. Do what the doers are doing. Don't do what the don'ters are doing, because the doers are doing and the don'ters are too busy don'ting. Every company that exists, even in this great business of network marketing, there are people that are in companies like this that are doing. And then there are people, you know people even in this company that are don'ting, don't you? Are you going to follow the don'ter in this company, or are you going to follow the doer? The doer or the don'ter? So that's a good phrase. Do what the doers are doing, don't do what the don'ters are doing, isn't it? Doesn't it? Don't you? Exactly. All right. Next slide, please. Okay. Before you had this business, you didn't have this business, didn't you? Wow, I'm getting deep on you. Before you had this business, you didn't have this business, did you? So what did you do then? Other stuff. So now you have this business, now what do you got to do? This business. Was your life full before you got in this business? Was your schedule full? Did you buy a bigger house and then your house got full? How did that happen? I went from a little apartment, and then I have a big house, and now my big house is full. I can only put one car. What is that? 2 boys. That's what it is. 2 boys' toys. When you didn't have the business before, and now you have the business, you have to make room for the business. How many of you want to go from part-time to full-time? Not have a job. Nothing wrong with a job. By the way, don't make fun of people that have jobs. Jobs are cool. You take somebody's stuff, and then you repeat it, right? Sometimes the stuff that we learn isn't so good. So I heard some phrase a long time ago, job. That's just over broke. You're just over broke.
I'm rich, I'm an MLMer. And I like to stick my nose up in the air. Jobs are stupid.
I did that. That's insulting. A person that is taking care of their family, putting food on the table, doing whatever it is to thrive and survive, should be commended for that. Maybe they don't know this great profession of network marketing yet. Well, let's not make fun of a job, okay? Because jobs are cool. And not everybody wants to quit their job. There's people, I guarantee, in this room, you don't want to quit your job. You love what you do. Maybe you just want to make a few grand a month. Maybe you don't even care about making that much money. You just want to make some cool friends and be around some fun people. You realize people get in this business, a lot of people get in this business just because they get to be around this kind of stuff. And maybe they just want to get healthy. Not everybody wants to get rich. Not everybody's willing to do what it takes to get rich, because it takes a lot. You're going to work hard in this business. Now, here's the thing. You probably work hard already, don't you? But the rewards here far outweigh what you would do over in most jobs. If you're willing to put in the work, put in the time, here long enough, the rewards of you doing it will far outweigh what most people, I say most people, because I got friends of mine that have jobs that make 700 grand a year. Is that a pretty good job? No? You need more than that? $1 million? $750,000 the guy made last year working for a bank. Can you believe it? And he's like, I don't want to do an MLM. Why would he? He gets like 10 weeks of vacation a year. He gets but so you understand what I'm saying? Not everybody wants to be in that position, but for the people that do, we got to do everything we can to help them, right? What can you temporarily let go of, postpone, put aside, sub out? You didn't have the business yesterday, you have the business today, but now you got to squeeze the business into your life. Where's it going to fit? Where's it going to fit? Todd, I just don't have any time. How many of you have ever heard anybody? I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Well, how do we change that? We show people how to find the time. Do you mow your own lawn? Do you do your own grocery shopping? Do you run your own errands? Do you take the kids to and from school? Do you clean your own house? Do you scrub your own toilets? I hate scrubbing toilets. I stopped that a long time ago. Then that's never fun. Yeah, I'm going to get somebody else to do that. I know it's a little too graphic, sorry. But for those of you that are part-time, super busy, and trying to find where the time is to do this business, you can give up a couple things. Maybe it's one round of golf a week. Or one surf session. I am Goofy Foot. Wait, let me rail grab. I don't think I've done that on stage before. So just look at your schedule. What can you give up? Because we got commute time and this time. And the other thing is you got to start taking your downtime and make it up time. I helped a guy go from nothing to over $10,000 a month in his car. You want to know how we did it? 0 to 10 grand a month. This guy calls me up and he's quitting my business. Can you believe it? He was giving me an exit interview. Almost never happens. He's like, dude, I'm quitting. I'm like, you're quitting? How cool is that for you to at least tell me you're quitting? Most people just turn into a 0. And then you never hear from them again. You call them and they're like, hello? Tom calls me up. This is a different Tom, by the way. And he calls me up and he says, hey, I'm quitting. I said, why are you quitting? He said, well, I don't have the time. I have a very long commute. I go, how long is your commute? He said, 2 hours. I go, dude. I go, you're in your car an hour each direction? He's like, no, I'm 2 hours into LA and 2 hours home. I'm like, you're in your car for 4 hours a day? I go, what are you doing? He's like, listening to talk radio. I go, what? I go, not anymore. I said, how serious are you about making money in this business? He goes, I want to make money in this business. I said, listen, I think you can do this. I said, I'll set up a plan for you. You get your prospects, your leads ready, your list the night before, you prep the night before, you get that lead list, you go max out your minutes. This is years ago. Max out your minutes on your cell phone. It was a big leap of faith back then. Whew. Big leap of faith. And I said, you make phone calls on the way into work, you make phone calls on the way back from work, and I will be there to support you in 3-way calls and address your prospects' questions and help them figure it out and make a decision. He's like, let's do it. That guy hit me with more 3-way calls over the next 12 months than all of my organization combined. He went from 0 to over $10,000 a month. I think he hit the right over 10K at month number 10. Within the next 5, 6, 7 months, he was about $17,000 a month. He calls me up, he goes, can I quit my job yet? And he was serious. He's like, I go, I don't know. He's like, I've been here for like 17 years. Like, if I quit, I can never go back. I have no chance of getting my job back. He still waited another 6 months to a year before he quit. He went on the next year. You guys can do the math because I already told you I'm not very good at math. Sponsored personally 250 people. How many is that a month? I don't know, but I think it's more than a lot. He sponsored 200. He was the #1 recruiter in that business, and he went from I'm going to quit. And all I did with him is showed him time that he didn't think he had. So for those of you that are working with people, or those of you that are in this room thinking, I don't know if I got the time, yeah, you do. If it's important to you, you'll make the time. You'll set the time aside. If we could do the next slide, please. All right, here's another thing about conquering your calendar. How many of you want to be professional in this business? Oh, you Hawaiians don't like to raise your hand, I figured. That's cool. It's all right. You get tired from paddling all the time. I know what it is. You're like, on my shoulder, do you realize how sore my ribs are right now? And I have rash. Only a handful of you guys that surf can actually relate to that. Ow. This is not going to stop me from hopefully going out tomorrow. Conquering your calendar. So I would say that you operate 100% in your calendar. 100% in your calendar. Your calendar is not a white pad, a yellow pad, a napkin. Your calendar is a calendar. Almost everybody in this room probably has a smartphone today, which will sync into something, into some calendar, whether it's an iPhone or in a Microsoft Outlook. And what if your objective is to accelerate your success in this business and speed up your success, you got to be operating your calendar. Here's what I do every night before I wrap up. I do a 5-minute preview. It's probably less than that. 3 minutes. I look at what's going on tomorrow because I don't want to sleep in and miss an 8 o'clock appointment that I had. Because if I missed an 8 o'clock appointment with David Skultedi, he would not sign up with me. You realize that? Because I'm flaky. Because I was flaky and lame, and David is not, and we had an 8 a.m. meeting, And I didn't call him, and I was like, oh, I wake up and I'm in a panic. Oh my God, what happened? I call him, he's like, dude, I can't do business with a guy like you. Would you like him in your downline? We need to work on that. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Yes! You want David in your downline because the guy crushes it. On Sunday nights, I do a review and a preview of the next week. I look at what unfinished business from last week, and what do I got to do this next week? It's just simple. It's easy to do, but a lot of people don't do it. I've had people miss appointments because they forgot to look at their calendar. That's not an excuse, is it? Next slide, please. Number 8. You want to become the pace setter. You want to speed up the process. Everybody's eyeballs are on you. Everybody's watching you. They're checking you out. And here's the other thing. Rewards and recognition are so key. The company will reward you, right? The company will recognize you for your accomplishments, won't they? You hit diamond, you hit whatever position is, you hit crown, wow. But if you had somebody in your downline that just sponsored their first person and you didn't say anything? You didn't say anything like, oh, congratulations, that's awesome. You got your first person, or you hit this, that's so awesome. Or they got through their cleanse, the first 10-day cleanse, you look fantastic. They're going, yeah. Right? They're feeling good, but I mean, think about it. You put somebody through a 10-day cleanse and you're like, hey. It's a motivator. They make their first phone call. Yeah, good job, high five. Sponsored your first rep, awesome. Hey, Brandy, did you know Sally sponsored her first person? Really? Awesome. Brandy's gonna call the person. And they're gonna go, all I did is I sponsored one person, but I'm gonna go get another one. Because if somebody wasn't recognized and they worked really hard for something, they don't even remember me. It'll put them on pause. You don't want people to be put on pause, do you? Pause is not fast because it's either you're on the gas or you're on the brakes. You want to be the pace setter because they're looking at you. Pace setter doesn't mean you have to go 60 hours a week, but you're moving. You're moving. What's a pace setter? For me, if I'm 2-3 hours a week, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to have shorter phone calls and more of them. Shorter phone calls and more of them. Follow me? All right, number 9. Okay, real quickly. Everything that you do, the way you serve your team, the way you serve your customers, is excellence, superior customer service all the time. In good times and bad times. And this is kind of like a make or break deal within your organization, because as soon as somebody questions what you're doing, then they're totally on their heels. And actually point number 9 and 10 are kind of the same, but and I'm going to shorten it up a little bit for you guys, but I'd be asking yourself, is what I'm doing inspiring confidence in other people? Is what I'm doing inspiring confidence in other people in my organization? Because people are watching you. Are people proud beyond measure to be part of your team? Like, I am so thrilled to be part of this person's team, or ooh, I'm actually hanging out with this team because these guys do weird stuff. You know that happens, by the way. And it's based on how we do stuff out in the field, and people will they're looking at you. And you just want to be doing things like, you know, like for me, I go to bat for my distributors. My distributors is my family. How many of you would like run out in the street if your kid was in the street getting ready to be run over by a car? You would like throw yourself in front of the car and like throw that person out of the way, wouldn't you? I'm so ultra protective of my children. Your group is your children. Going to bat for your organization, that's what you want to be doing in a very ethical, positive way. So that if something goes wrong, they know that you're sticking up for them. Does that make sense? Rather than, okay, like if you called me and there was a problem with shipping, just as an example, I don't know if you had a problem with shipping, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to be the person that picks up the phone and calls customer service with you, helps you get the situation resolved so you're happy, right? In fact, here's the philosophy. You want to handle stuff in such a way where that if something does go wrong, and because the way you handled it was so awesome, that they're actually happy the thing happened. They're actually thrilled that the negative thing happened because you handled it so good. Is that a good way of handling something? Okay, number 10. Let's get to this last one real quick. Everything, and I mentioned this earlier, everything rises and falls on confidence. Your business is based on, I'm not even talking about your self-confidence. Yes, self-confidence is important. Everything rises and falls on confidence. Your customers' confidence in your products, your confidence in your leadership, your confidence in the company and where the company is going. If you do something, and I'm talking from a distributor standpoint, that causes your people to go, whoa, wait a second, how is he operating? That's weird. You understand? Like, so when people are on their toes, they're leaning forward. Somebody who's on their toes is leaning forward. They have forward momentum in their business. They're going for something. You want all of your distributors excited and moving towards something, but all of a sudden if something happens, something weird goes on, now they're doing this, what happens? Is this going fast if all your distributors have their hands up in the air and they're like, whoa, this isn't good. Now everybody's on pause, the whole organization slows down, the volume slows down, and it's not something that's good. And this happens at all levels. It happens at corporate level, but it also happens with you as the leader. You got to be really careful as you go out and grow an organization how you're operating. How are they seeing you and the things that you're doing as you're growing your business? It makes a huge, huge, huge impact, okay? All right, I'm going to ask you guys to do something really quickly, okay? Because I know everybody's turkeyed out, and we've been talking here for almost an hour. Not everybody else has to do this, but only the people that want to, that actually answer the question properly, have to do this. Is that okay? How many of you are, if you're absolutely 100% committed to making big money in this business and being a lifer in this company, stand up. Okay? You can all do this too because it's a good time to stretch. So that's pretty much everybody in the room. There's a few people that may be new, and that's cool, and they're trying to figure out whether this is what they want to do. That's totally fine. We don't always get 100% of the people to stand up. I want you to look around the room. Look at your fellow diamonds and crown diamonds in the making. Look around the room. You can high five each other if you want. All right. So, real quick, that's awesome. First of all, I want to just get the blood flowing through you guys for a second. Sit down real quick. I'm about ready to wrap up, but I just want to do this. I want to share something with you before I'm going to ask you something. Would it be okay if I showed you something really cool that'll actually help you do what I just had you all stand up to be able to do? Okay. So, obviously in an hour or whatever I have available with you, I can't show you everything that there is to know about network marketing. The last 12 years I've been teaching, speaking, training on the subject of network marketing based on my experience in the field. I put myself in a literal closet over the last 9 months, even though I've traveled all over the place and still been crazy speaking schedule. And I sat down and I produced a series that took me 9 months to produce. It's called Cracking the Code to Success in Network Marketing. And it is the most comprehensive navigational guide to creating success in network marketing that I've ever produced. It's essentially like this. If I had one chance to sit down with you and lay it all out and tell you the honest to goodness truth about really what's gonna happen and not live in fantasy land, like, okay, this is how you navigate through this. This is how you deal with politics if politics happen. This is how you deal with all levels of recruiting and prospecting. This is how you do team building. This is how you advance growth in your company. This is how you get yourself ahead financially and actually stay there and not slide backwards, and literally sit down with you and go, this is everything that I could possibly give you, and then I'm done. I have no other chance in my life to tell you how to do network marketing. That's exactly what this is. So it took me 9 months, it took me 45 hours in the studio, and I produced a series that we launched this last week. It's called Cracking the Code to Success in Network Marketing. It's a 19-disc set. Has a bonus DVD in it, so it's 19 CDs. It's a tremendous amount. It's in 6 different volumes. It's the most comprehensive training I've ever produced in all my years of doing network marketing training. And what it'll do for you is it'll help you guarantee your success in this business and not leave it up to chance. And to be a thriving, surviving, rocking person for a lifetime in this business. And I literally cover the gamut of what it takes to be successful and make it in network marketing. Now, we did an initial product launch with this last week, and we blew through all of the units very, very quickly. And I knew I was flying out to Hawaii. Now here's the thing, I have like this and 2 others, the physical copies here, that's all I have with me. So, not that there aren't other copies, there's about 60 other copies at my warehouse, but that's all there is until next month, until like the end of October. So I only have about 60 of them for you guys. If you want to order it, I'll ship it to you. I will not charge you shipping. You'll have it within a week. But again, there's only about 60 units of this available in my warehouse until we get this next shipment at the end of October. So This normally, in fact, there you go, it's on the screen. It normally sells for $397. You're getting my whole life of network marketing for $397, but because you're here at an event today, I'll give it to you for $297. And if you want to, if you have to, if it's the absolute must, I'll squeeze it into 2 payments for you. Whatever you got to do to make sure that you get this into your hands. And one last thing I'll share with you real quick. For those of you that are just getting started, there's another training program that I have called the Little Black Book of Scripts. And I'll just show this to you real quick. This is an 80-page script book and 2 audio CDs that put the words in your mouth so that you're never at a loss for words and you're going, oh, what would I say to that person? This is a very, very comprehensive guide that it's really a little workbook that you work with every day so that you're not stuck wondering what in the world to say to somebody when you want to engage somebody in conversation about network marketing. And there's 2 audio CDs in it as well, so I teach you how to use a script rather than just throw a script at you and keep my fingers crossed hoping it's going to work for you. So this normally sells for $67 on the order form. Outside it's $47. So as I wrap up, you guys can come out. Again, there's about 60 of these units that are available right now. First couple people actually take one with them today, but then the other one, you guys will have it within a week. My studio will ship it to you, and you will not pay shipping on it. So we're going to take a break here in a second, and when we do, I've got order forms out here. You can come out, fill out an order form, reserve your copy of Cracking the Code to Success in Network Marketing, and hope to network with you guys a little bit later. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.